press. Joining us is Sean Spicer, Communications Director for the Republican National Committee. Sean, good day to you.
Good afternoon, Alex.
So what does Eric Cantor's endorsement mean for the Romney campaign?
Well, I think each one of these candidates is going out and seeking endorsement and supports in each of the states that are coming up on Super Tuesday. Virginia is obviously part of that on Super Tuesday, so I think it may help him in Virginia, and we'll see whether that transcends to other states. But I think you can't look at any one endorsement and say, well, that's going to make a huge difference here or there. But I think obviously Leader Cantor is a very important person in the movement, so it's a good sign for Governor Romney. But each of these candidates is out there getting endorsements from folks, both at the state and local level. So I don't think I'm going to pass judgment on one particular endorsement.
Here's one thing that you wrote about in your weekly memo, and here's the quote. Ultimately, one of the four current Republican candidates will be the nominee. Our party will then unite 100% around him. A couple of questions here. Considering the vitriol of the primary season where the candidates have all attacked each other and their conservative credentials, how legitimate will that unity be? And are you absolutely certain there will be no brokered convention, no dark horse that comes in, as a lot of people have speculated recently?
Okay, well, to say that I could be absolutely certain would be just not true. But I can say that there is no one that I know of that has any intention to get in. Two, if there were someone that were looking to get in, it would be virtually impossible. Actually, it is actually impossible for him to get the 1144 necessary to get the number of delegates to win the nomination. And so I do think it's extremely far-fetched at best. That being said, to the first part of your question, one of the things that we're seeing, two key things that we're seeing in the polling. One is the enthusiasm gap on the Republican side is higher than it was in 2008, and it's higher than it is on the Democratic side, meaning the Republican base is fired up, it's ready to go, it's motivated. And the second thing that's interesting is within all of the four candidates, a lot of times when you ask them who their first choice is, and they give it to you, and then you say who's their second choice, a lot of times it's within the four. So a lot of folks who are going out and voting may have a first choice, but they're also willing to look at any of the others if that person were to become our nominee. So I'm almost 100% certain that one of these four will be our candidate, and they will go on and win in November.
Okay. Let's talk about the timing of things really quickly. All the social issues that have dominated the news of late versus the economic issues. How will the GOP nominee attract that moderate group of voters away from President Obama if those social issues remain at the forefront?
Well, I would disagree with the premise. I think we are talking a lot about economic issues. Every one of those candidates that I just mentioned is out there talking about the economy and jobs first and foremost. They're talking about debt and deficit. And I think a lot of times what happens is actually the comment that you're referring to on social issues is largely not even driven by any of the candidates. It's been driven by Rush Limbaugh and others. So you're not hearing our candidates focus on those 100%. I mean, I think all of them would agree that the economy and jobs is the number one issues. Rising gas prices, the lack of an energy policy by this administration, the increased debt and deficit by this administration. So I think you are seeing and will see more of a focus on issues that impact every American going forward.
Okay. From the RNC, Sean Spicer, good to talk with you. Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Alex. Have a great week.
You too.